In the damp, leafy depths of the tropical rainforest, a tiny creature crawls over the forest floor. No larger than a paperclip, yet painted in electric shades of yellow, blue, or red. It looks like a toy, but touch it, and you might not survive the mistake. This is the poison dart frog, a small amphibian with one of the most potent natural toxins ever discovered. Across the forests of Central and South America, poison dart frogs have evolved to be bold, bright, and dangerously beautiful. Their skin carries toxic compounds so powerful they can stop a predator in its tracks or a human's heart within minutes. But there's much more to these frogs than their deadly reputation. They are expert parents, chemical alchemists, and miniature survivors in a shrinking world. If you enjoy stories like this, consider liking the video and subscribing. It helps the channel grow and brings more wild stuff to curious minds like yours. Poison dart frogs got their name from human contact. Indigenous groups in Western Colombia have long harvested toxin from frogs in the genus Phyllobates for use on blow darts for hunting. Poison dart frogs don't rely on fangs, claws, or speed. Their primary weapon is their skin. Across many species, their skin secretes powerful alkaloid toxins, chemical compounds that disrupt nerve or muscle function in predators. The most infamous of these is batrachotoxin, a neurotoxin that prevents nerve cells from switching off. This leads to overstimulation of muscles, paralysis, and, at sufficient doses, death by cardiac or respiratory failure. There is no known antidote. One species, the golden poison frog, Phyllobates terribilis, can carry up to 1.2 milligrams of it, enough to kill 10 people or 20,000 mice. Not all poison dart frogs are equally dangerous. Some species have mild toxins that cause nausea or irritation. Others, like Dendrobates tinctorius, are visually striking but only moderately toxic. But in evolutionary terms, even a mild poison, combined with a bright warning, can be an effective defense. And crucially, they are poisonous, not venomous. They don't bite or inject their toxin. They carry it passively on their skin. Poison dart frogs don't produce these toxins on their own. In fact, captive-bred frogs lose their toxicity entirely. The secret lies in their diet. In the wild, these frogs feed on alkaloid-rich invertebrates, especially ants, mites, and beetles that have consumed toxic plants or fungi. The frogs then accumulate and store these toxins in their skin glands. Scientists have identified over 800 distinct alkaloids across various species. Some are unique to certain frogs, suggesting a strong connection between local diet and chemical composition. It's an elegant system. The frogs outsource their chemical warfare to their food, turning toxic prey into a defense mechanism. Meanwhile, they've evolved molecular resistance to their own poisons, modifying the shape of sodium channels in their nerve cells so the toxins no longer bind. In captivity, with standard insect diets, poison dart frogs become completely harmless, a fact that reveals just how finely tuned this ecological triangle really is. Among the roughly 170 to 200 known species, a few stand out as lethally toxic. The golden poison frog, Phyllobates terribilis, native to Colombia's Pacific coast, this is the deadliest of all. A single frog contains enough batrachotoxin to kill 10 adult humans. Its bright yellow or greenish coloration is unmistakable and unforgettable. Phyllobates bicolor and Phyllobates aurotinia. Also found in Colombia, these frogs are slightly smaller and slightly less toxic than terribilis, but still dangerous enough to incapacitate a monkey or a human. Dendrobates tinctorius, often called the dying poison frog, it's known for its electric blue body with black spots. Though not deadly, it still produces alkaloids that can cause irritation or mild poisoning. Interestingly, even among toxic species, toxin levels vary from frog to frog, depending on diet, habitat, and local prey availability. In nature, bright colors usually signal danger. Poison dart frogs are the textbook case of aposematism, the use of bold visual cues to advertise unpalatability or toxicity. Their colors are not just decoration, they're survival strategy. Red, yellow, blue, green, and black. Each species, and often each population, displays unique patterns. In some species, like dendrobates tinctorius, color morphs vary between forest patches just a few kilometers apart. And it's not just predators who notice. Some non-toxic frogs mimic the colors of toxic ones, a strategy known as Batesian mimicry. Others, like multiple dendrobate species, may converge on similar patterns for mutual protection, a case of Müllerian mimicry. Over time, these visual signals reduce attacks by teaching predators. Bright colors mean bad experience. Poison dart frogs are more than walking chemical weapons. They are also remarkable parents. Most species are diurnal, active during the day. Males are territorial and use vocal calls to defend small patches of forest, sometimes just a few square meters, and to attract mates. Once a female is interested, the male leads her to a chosen egg-laying site, a damp leaf, a mossy crevice, or the base of a bromeliad. The female lays a small clutch of eggs, often fewer than 10, and the male typically guards them. He keeps them moist by urinating nearby or carrying water on his body. After about 10 to 14 days, the eggs hatch into tiny tadpoles. Here comes the star behavior. The parent, usually the male, carries each tadpole on his back to small water-filled cavities, bromeliad pools, tree holes, or rain-filled leaf axils. Some species go even further. The strawberry poison dart frog returns regularly to feed her tadpoles with unfertilized eggs, providing all the nutrients they need until metamorphosis. The process from tadpole to froglet takes about 6 to 12 weeks, depending on food and temperature. At the end, tiny froglets emerge, initially non-toxic, but gradually building up toxins through diet as they grow. Despite their evolutionary success, poison dart frogs face increasing threats. Their greatest enemy is not a predator, but humans. The biggest danger is habitat loss. Tropical rainforests across Central and South America are being cleared for agriculture, logging, and development. Some dart frog species have incredibly small ranges, just a single valley or hillside. If that forest is destroyed, the species may vanish with it. Another major threat is the chytrid fungus, a deadly skin infection that has decimated amphibian populations worldwide. Poison dart frogs seem especially vulnerable in cooler, high-elevation areas. In addition, climate change is emerging as a long-term threat, altering rainfall patterns, temperature ranges, and humidity levels that many rainforest amphibians rely on. Even small shifts in microclimate can disrupt breeding cycles or reduce suitable habitat. Illegal wildlife trade adds pressure. Despite protection under CITES, some species are smuggled and sold in the exotic pet market, often at high prices. Captive-bred frogs are common and legal, but demand for wild-caught specimens still exists, especially for rare morphs. Fortunately, conservation efforts are underway. Protected reserves, stricter export controls, and targeted captive breeding programs are helping support vulnerable populations. Crucially, some of these breeding efforts focus on reintroducing frogs into the wild, especially in areas where local populations have collapsed. Without the goal of reintroduction, breeding frogs in captivity serves little ecological purpose. But when combined with habitat protection and disease monitoring, reintroduction projects can help restore species to their native forests. Education and ecotourism also play a role. The more people value living frogs in the forest, not in collections, the more likely they are to survive. The poison dart frog is a study in contradictions. Tiny but powerful, fragile but deadly, vivid but elusive. It doesn't roar, chase, or strike. It simply exists, armed in silence, warning with color, raising its young with care, and playing a quiet but crucial role in the forest web. Its toxins have killed monkeys and fed tribes. Its patterns have inspired art, research, and fear. And its future, like so many creatures of the rainforest, now depends on ours. In the end, poison dart frogs aren't just deadly frogs. They are living chemistry and a masterpiece of evolution. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay curious and keep exploring.